Hi guys, and welcome back to Arsenal Army. So it's a North London derby this weekend. It's a big game, bragging rights for North London, and also the chance for us to go even further, clear top of the table. So I'm going to be going through what I believe will be the best starting 11 with both the clubs combined, and I'm going to be trying not to use all my Arsenal bias in this starting 11. Starting with the goalkeepers, probably one of the harder decisions I had to make in this video. Bukayo started off really well in the Tottenham shirt. Looked like one of the signings of the season for them. Has dropped off a bit recently, making a few mistakes, which is completely opposite to Raya. Started off very shaky, didn't look like he could fill Ramsdale's role in the team. Kind of questions on why we signed him. But recently has been good. Dropped a few of the mistakes out of his games. And you can judge that from him being in contention for the Golden Glove Award by the end of the season. But if I'm trying not to be biased here, I would feel more comfortable if Arsenal had Bukayo in goal than Raya. So I've gone with Bukayo. With the fullbacks, at right back, I've gone with Ben White. I believe he's had a brilliant season, and it would be hard for me to look past putting him in this team. Porro has also had a good season, but just not what Ben White has done recently. At left back, it's the one position that any one of Tottenham's players can really take. None of our left backs have been consistent this season. Starting with Zinchenko, just not really good enough. Kiwior has recently had his mistakes in his game, and you can see he's not that comfortable in that position. And Tomiyasu, even though we know he's a good player, hasn't done it long enough for me to say he deserves to be in this combined 11. So normally I'd go with Udogie, a very good youngster. He'll probably be a top left back one day once he gets that rawness out of his game. But since he's injured for the North London derby, I would take Van de Ven at left back. Played there in the Bundesliga, and I'm sure even Arteta would love to have him as a left-sided left back. He would play the Kiwior role even better than Kiwior does it himself, so it would be nice to see. Now, with the two centre backs, our partnership's too strong, Saliba and Gabriel. I did think about having Romero in this team for Gabriel, but I just can't do it. Not only is the fact that I don't like Romero that much, I think he's a little dirty player, but I love this partnership. It has proved to be one of the best this season, definitely in the Premier League. Proving that with us having the most clean sheets in the Premier League. So yeah, even though I get why Tottenham fans will say they would want Romero in this back two, I'm not taking him. Now with the midfield three, one certain player to be in here is Declan Rice. To me, signing of the summer throughout the whole league, not just for Arsenal, has been phenomenal since coming in and has filled his role perfectly. As our attacking midfielder, Ødegaard, again, another phenomenal player. He's just the joy to watch. So I would not take any other Tottenham player for him. As the next midfielder, we don't really have a consistent third midfielder in our squad. So Jorginho, as much as I think he controls the game well, and I do like him, I think they do have better. And we know Arteta likes going for the two attacking midfielder role. So Maddison, I think, would be a perfect little fit in. Imagine a midfield of Rice, Maddison, and Ødegaard. That would be something to see. Of course, for me, Partey, if he was fit the whole season and gave those performances like he did against Chelsea, probably would get in here. But I'm sure Tottenham would say the same for Basuma and Bentancur, to be fair. They're two good midfielders as well. So, yeah, but this is my midfield three that I have decided on. So in the front line, a non-negotiable for me is Saka. He's been getting a lot of hate recently on social media about his limping off the pitch, but I still think he is a soon-to-be world-class player. He's produced this season his goals and assists. Tottenham fans could say that Brennan Johnson could have a shout here because he has been decent this season, or more than decent, good. But I'm still taking Saka in my team. At left wing, even though he's been playing striker this season predominantly, I've gone with Son. He he hasn't had, I wouldn't say, his best of seasons, but he's still better than the left wingers we have, in my opinion. Martinelli's had a very poor season, and Trossard's too inconsistent for me. There's some games you look at Trossard and you think he could be one of the top wingers in the league, and then there's other games you think, why is he playing for Arsenal? So I've gone with Son. They can have that one. Then up front, obviously Son's at left wing. So for me, I've gone with Havertz. This is more because of recent performances. He's done very well, contributing to their game. His hold-up play, as well as the goals, and his runs in behind the lines. They would have an argument that Richarlison has the same goals, I believe, this season as Havertz, non-penalty goals, to make that clear. But I'm still taking Havertz on my team. I just prefer his all-round game. Now, this is what the 11 would look like if it was on the pitch. I think it's a very, very decent 11 if we could take those players off of them. But I'd like to know what you guys think. If you think I've been a bit too biased to Arsenal, or maybe I should have included more Arsenal players, who knows? But yeah, that's, to me, our best 11 combined. Now, this is what the 11 would look like if it was on the pitch. I think it's a very, very decent 11 if we could take those players off of them. But I'd like to know what you guys think. If you think I've been a bit too biased to Arsenal, or maybe I should have included more Arsenal players, who knows? But yeah, that's, to me, our best 11 combined. Now, this is what the 11 would look like if it was on the pitch. I think it's a very, very decent 11 if we could take those players off of them. But I'd like to know what you guys think. If you think I've been a bit too biased to Arsenal, or maybe I should have included more Arsenal players, who knows? But yeah, that's, to me, our best 11 combined. Now, this is what the 11 would look like if it was on the pitch. I think it's a very, very decent 11 if we could take those players off of them. But I'd like to know what you guys think. If you think I've been a bit too biased to Arsenal, or maybe I should have included more Arsenal players, who knows? But yeah, that's, to me, our best 11 combined.